Movie adaptations of TV shows have become a recurring theme in recent times, with such movies like The A-Team and Miami Vice, worryingly, and Inspector Gadget, which I shall get to in a future review. Thunderbirds is no stranger to this, with having two movies in 1967 and 68 respectively, with the Tracy family having a much expanded adventure running international rescue. Wait a minute! Oh, not your stupid ass again! Oh yes, Mr. Modern, I'm like an annoying voice that never goes away. Stop that. I've only just made it to 2004 and you're talking about Thunderbird movies? Oh no. Oh yes. Good Lord, no! Oh yes. Thunderbirds from 2004. I so hate you right now. Self-loathing? When did you become so emo? Shut up. How about this? How about we get this Rotten Tomato out of the way and I time warp back to 2004 faster than you can say Thunderbirds are go. International Rescue, I'm being forced to watch your crappy movie from 2004.
I'm sorry, Mr. Knight, there's nothing we can do.
Let's just get this over with.
One of the key aspects that made Thunderbirds so charming as a TV series were the stories of international rescue making such rapid responses to assist anyone at any point on Earth or in space, and when you look back at the show today, it was well ahead of its time and is still enjoyable from fans then and today.
But you have to admit that puppets by today's standards are extremely dated. That's usually what politicians say about their voters. Ow! Harsh but true. I call it like I see it. The 67 offering Thunderbirds Are Go shows a higher production value of the TV series that incorporated, at the time, the latest marionette techniques used from Captain Scarlet, with more realistic eye and lip movements. Just a pity they were all wooden. Really? Oh, come on! That joke came with no strings attached. Okay. I'm gonna make this real simple. You make any more jokes like that and I'll find a way to keep you in 2004 and watch that movie on a continuous loop. I'll be good.
The story follows a very similar plot of international rescue acting as a safety escort for Zero X on their mission to Mars as it leaves Earth. It should be noted that Zero X was first used in the first episode of Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons, when the Mysterons mysteronized Spectrum agent Captain Black.
I find it amusing that Thunderbird 4 is shown in the opening credits and on the cover art, but is not even used in the movie. Yeah, that did kinda annoy me.
One thing that Thunderbirds was really good at doing was building suspense and making you believe that those models were actual aircraft with the way the series was filmed.
This is why Jerry Anderson was such a genius.
The characters are well defined. Scott is the younger, no-nonsense version of his father, Jeff. Virgil is the sensitive and courageous one. Gordon is the eager member who wants to contribute more. And Alan's an over-eager hothead.
Oh, history repeats itself a little later. Don't remind me.
The original movie gives you what you'd expect from the TV show, but as said before, on a grander scale and ends satisfactorily. The 2004 movie, however...
Oh, God.
The movie has brief glimpses of being a Thunderbirds movie at the beginning with the oil rig fire, and the new designs of Thunderbirds 1 and 2 do look amazing and surprisingly faithful to their original counterparts. I was pleased with the designs as they were one of the few decent aspects of this mediocre train wreck.
Mediocre? Aren't we being generous? Okay, fine. This was Superman 4 awful. Wow. Now I feel bad for Superman 4. Oof.
The other thing I really couldn't stand was the overuse of FAB and saying the tagline, Thunderbirds Are Go! If anyone had been playing a drinking game, they would have been beyond wasted at the middle of the movie.
Okay. That's just wrong.
The biggest problem of this movie is that it wants to be anything but a Thunderbirds flick and be a Spy Kids movie that happens to feature Thunderbirds.
Okay, I don't think we need to cover it any further. You nailed it. Before we do, I will say the rescue of the monorail in the Thames and to the launch sequence of each Thunderbird was very faithful to the original. That's fair. Thunderbirds Are Go wins this round. Oh, do we have to do this? Would it help if we covered it brief and to the point? I will accept that.
The original movie had the cast reprise their roles from the TV show with the likes of Shane Rimmer, Matt Zimmerman, David Graham, Peter Dinley, and others slipping back into the routine, and vocal performances are like it was just right after the final episode, give or take a million.
Which was also their Christmas episode. Well remembered.
The 2004 movie only had real focus on Sophia Myles, Ron Cook, Bill Paxton, Sir Ben Kingsley, Vanessa Hudgens before High School Musical fame, and Brady Corbett, who I might add was so insufferable as Alan Tracy. Bill really sells it as Jeff Tracy, encompassing the importance of what Thunderbirds means to the world and why it must remain a secret. Sophia is just a treat to watch as Lady Penelope, as is Ron Cook as Parker. I do have to question the Hood having minions.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense considering he was a one-man operation in the show. And he was only interested in international rescue secrets and not just being another bank robber.
Vanessa was a much more easygoing version of Tintin and probably one of the few likeable actors in this flick, but I'd have to question Brains having a kid, since this movie is supposed to be a prequel set 10 years before the TV series, according to director Jonathan Frakes, who you will know from Star Trek Next Generation as Commander William Riker.
How much of that do you believe? None of it, considering International Rescue actually started operating for the first time in Trapped in the Sky, which was their first episode.
Also, the Tracy brothers, with the exception of John, who seemed to get more screen time than Scott, Virgil and Gordon combined, they were so interchangeable that Scott Winchester could have been playing Virgil and no one would have been any the wiser.
They may as well have been the same as if they just rolled off a production line but just having different heads. An unintentional nod to the marionettes who had interchangeable heads to show different emotions. Dude, these characters would have to have a personality to understand what is emotion.
You are charged with being in a crappy movie with a lousy script. How do you plead? Guilty as charged.
Thunderbirds Are Go win again. 2-0.
Now, I'm going to be fair here with the 2004 movie. Visually, it's actually a good movie with the CG-created Thunderbird craft and how they react to the world that surrounds them, and Keyframe Studios did an amazing job of fooling the eye into thinking that these ships are real. From the launch sequences and just them being stationary, you actually believe that Thunderbird 1 touches down in London.
Yeah, I will have to agree. This is one aspect that the movie does succeed in, where it fails in casting and writing. Dude, what writing?
Touché. The 67 offering is not without its charm, as we mentioned before. With the way the show and the movie was filmed, you actually believed that was real with the camera angles and how authentically detailed the models were. The only thing I hold against the 2004 movie is Fab 1 flying.
Yeah, that was just stupid. No, that would be an improvement. And he scores 2 for 2. Shall we say a tie? I concur. This is another area where there is good in both.
The original, by composer Barry Gray, has the familiar Thunderbirds march that really gets you excited from when the craft are launched to a rescue taking place.
The same can be said with Hans Zimmer's score in the opener, which is an updated version of the TV theme. Even if a movie is bad in writing and casting, you can count on Hans Zimmerman to make the score decent.
Oh, no doubt. Considering the awesome work he did on The Lion King, Gladiator, and 2006 Blood Plus anime series, anything this man touches for the score is grade A quality all the way. I'm going to have to say this round is a tie again.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. the 2004 version is nothing more at best a guilty pleasure. There are glimpses of it trying to be a Thunderbirds movie, but this is only really highlighted at the end.
While it spends the better half pandering to the Spy Kids crowd when it should have been trying to update itself and stay true to its own identity.
And they wonder why Jerry Anderson refused an invite to help promote this movie when they refused to let him on as a consultant. For shame.
The 67 movie has what made the TV series work, but elevates the quality on story, art and the writing, and what made that work were the actors retaining the chemistry that works so well on the series.
And the sad truth about the 2004 movie, the song by Busted, Thunderbirds Are Go, was the only thing about that movie that was a hit, reaching #1 in the charts. That's kinda sad. Don't get me wrong, Busted were a good group and it is a good hit. It's just a shame it had to be affiliated with that movie. Shall we just say Thunderbirds Are Go wins again? Unquestionably. Okay, I guess I'll head back to 2004 then. Later. Thanks again. Fancy reviewing another old versus new in the future? Only if they're good. Point taken. Later. Do the brand proud next year. Thunderbirds Are Go. Good night from the night.